ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजाः पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। राघवस्य प्रभावेण भवतां चैव तेजसा सुग्रीवस्य च कार्यार्थं मया सर्वम् अनुष्ठितम्। एतत् सर्वं मया तत्र यथाव यथावद् उपपादितम्। अत्र यन्न कृतं शेषं तत्सर्वं क्रियताम् इति। Sri Hanumanji just narrated his entire event of jumping to Lanka, the hurdles that he faced along the way, this entire reconnaissance mission of Ravana's Lanka, then finding Sita Devi, talking to her, and then receiving some message from her, but he has not told them exactly what it is. Then he has fought with Ravana's warriors, he has destroyed Lanka, then he was captured. His tail was put on fire. He burnt the entire Lanka down. Then he jumped back after meeting Sita Devi one final time, jumped back. And after narrating this entire story, which is one of the most heroic events in the entire Ramayana, his friends might say, "Wow, what have you done, Hanuman? You have accomplished something so great that there is no one in history who's been able to do something like this." Before all of that happens, he says, Raghavasya Prabhavena. If I was able to accomplish something, there are some factors which are important lessons for any one of us, especially as aspiring spiritualists, that one never believes that something was accomplished on one's own strength. Although one has certain strength, certain skills, certain specific gifts, if you will, but none of it is useful or even expressible without the grace of Vaishnavas and the grace of the Supreme Lord. So before any of them say anything about Hanuman's greatness, very humbly he says, Raghavasya Prabhavena. So there are these factors. One, Lord Ramachandra's influence, Prabhava, or his power. Bhavatam Chaiva Tejasi. And by all of your strength. I've been able to accomplish this on the strength of the Lord Ramachandra's grace and by the inspiration, blessings, and grace that all of you have conferred upon me. And you all have the same spirit. We want to serve Ramachandra. We want to please him. That has fueled my enthusiasm. And Sugrivasya Karyartham. And Sugriva's instruction. He has a purpose. He has made a promise to Ramachandra. So I take on that from Sugriva. Maya Sarvam Anushtitam. So I've been able to do all this because of these three factors. You want to generalize it? Grace from the Supreme Lord, instructions from the superiors, and by the blessings and well wishes of all the friends. And those who are our well wishers, they give us this inspiration, the strength to continue on, even if the path is difficult. And this is an important principle we hear throughout Vaishnava's life. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Sadhu Sangha, or the association of devotees, which I'm going to share a particular nuance of the word association in a moment. Association with devotees is the most important factor when a spiritualist is young and just starting off their process of bhakti. But when they are very accomplished, even when they have developed prema in their heart, association with devotees is still the primary and the most important factor. Generally, when we hear the word association, sadhu, sangha, sangha can mean, it has multiple meanings. It called meeting, associating. We may think being in the presence of. But Sangha, in these, when you dig a couple of layers deeper, it is far beyond being in the presence of. Sangha means attachment. Sangat sanjayate kama. But dhyayato vishayan pumsam sangasteshu upajayate. As soon as one contemplates on the objects of the senses, Krishna said, Sangha, attachment develops. So attachment for devotees is the driving force when one begins bhakti. It is also the one that is sustaining when there is prema. Therefore, I've been regularly every day for the past month or more thinking on this verse. Third canto, chapter 25, verse number 20. Prasangam ajaram pasham atmanah kavayo viduh sa eva sadhushu kruto moktadaram upavrah. So Lord Kapila is saying to Mother Devahuti, prasangam, the severe attachment that a person has, ajaram pasham, it's a rope or a noose. Pasham sometimes is used as a noose or a rope that is ajaram. It never becomes weak. It is a very, very strong force. It's not like as people age, they become less attached. It has nothing to do with age or becoming old or long time. Oh, with a lot of time, attachment becomes weaker. Nothing like that. Attachment is a feature of ahankara, false ego. So he says, ajaram pasham, this rope never becomes old or tired or weak. It is always strong, prasangam. And those who are kavais, or those who are thoughtful, intelligent persons, atmanaha, that attachment that one has for the body, kavayo viduhu, they know this. So there is a solution how to become free of this attachment. One we may think, oh, the answer is detachment, renunciation. Lord Kapila says, no. Take that severe attachment and just direct it somewhere else. Sa eva sadhushu kruto. Once you direct your propensity for severe attachment towards sadhus, mokshadwaram upa, it opens the door for liberation. So attachment is not a problem. Attachment directed towards what or who may be the issue. So one should be very severely, strongly, lovingly attached to the devotees, particularly more than the Supreme Lord. Of course, when one loves the Supreme Lord, attachment to his devotees is a natural, formidable, strong feature. But if a Vaishnava says, oh, I don't care for the Vaishnavas, it's me and the Supreme Lord, there is some flaw in such uh, expression of bhakti. So that's what Hanumanji is speaking to them. And then he says, Etat sarvam maya tatra yathavad upapaditam. I have expressed to you exactly of how things happened and what all I've accomplished. Atra yan na krutam sesham. So whatever is remaining that needs to be done, which is bringing Sita Devi back, tat sarvam kriyatam iti. That all of you consider what is the best thing to do and let's accomplish it. So then, Hanumanji, after speaking all this in detail, now first he expressed the storyline as it is, but now he's speaking his heart. This is a chapter that may need tissues when we are going to hear the pain of Hanumanji's heart. And that pain is going to grow and become so intense that you will see Hanuman almost speak out of character in one sense. But you will hear it. It is the question will be, why is Hanuman speaking like that? So he's going to say it right in the beginning. He says, Safalo Raghavodyoga. I was successful in carrying out the mission of Ramachandra. Sugrivasya cha sambhrama. And it was Sugriva's eagerness. Sheelamasadya Sitaya cha mama cha. And it is Sita Devi's chastity for Ramachandra. When I saw and heard what love she has for Ramachandra, it has opened my eyes. Generally, we may think this is just from a Leela perspective. Sita Devi is separated from Ramachandra. Hanuman is a great bhakta. He has gone to Sita Devi to give her inspiration and assure her heart. Actually, it may look like that. That's how it's narrated as well. But the reality is, Ramachandra wanted Hanuman to experience what that love looks like. So his own bhakti will grow very strongly. Similarly, when the gopis in Vrindavan are pining in separation from Krishna, they haven't eaten, they haven't slept, there is no life in their bodies, not just gopis, all the residents of Vrindavan. And Uddhava is at a point where he is ready to renounce this entire world, and Krishna speaking Uddhava Gita to him. Krishna tells him, go to Vrindavan and give this message to the residents there. So one may think that Uddhava has gone there to energize and give some hope to the residents of Vrindavan. True, partly. The reality is he gets to see, oh my God, what is this love that they have for Krishna? I thought I'm very close, confidant of Krishna, but look at them. And so his prayer is, let me become a blade of grass in Vrindavan where these residents walk on my head every day. And it will be the greatest success of my life that they step on my head. Hanumanji also gets to see that love that Sita Devi has for Ramachandra. So he says, Sheela Masadya Sitaya Mamacha Pravanam Manaha. In my heart, my devotion to Sita Devi has become stronger and stronger. And so he's speaking from the point of view of love, this love that is mixed with respect for Sita Devi. He has become a Sita Bhakta. It doesn't mean Ramachandra is not in the picture. Maybe I should say he's become a Sita Rama Bhakta just, instead of just Rama Bhakta. And he wonders, for such a chaste lady, how is it possible that Ravana did not die the moment he touched her? It means Ravana's tapabala, the strength he has acquired from his tapasya, is very, very strong. That in spite of Sita Devi's uh, being kidnapped by him by touching her and lifting her, this guy did not burn. However, the very day that he picked up Sita and brought her to Lanka and has kept her in captivity, all of his good deeds, his merits, the stockpile of punya that he has connected, he has also lit a fire that's going to burn, or actually has burnt away completely. So all that is remaining now is the stockpile of papa. That means Ravana is very, very, very strong. So he now says to Jambavan, he says, Jambavan, you are our leader. And we have also the leadership of Angada. And what kind of Angada? Oh, uh, very, very strong prince. Plus, aham eko api paryapta sab rakshasa ganam purim tam lankam tasya hantum ravanam cha mahabalam. I am alone enough to have decimated the entire Lanka, perhaps even killed Ravana if required. It's enough. Then what to speak when all of us sitting here go to Lanka? Jambavan, what experience, what strength you have. You are the senior most of this entire army. Of course, he's a Chiranjeeva. He saw when yugas and yugas ahead, Vamana Deva showed his form as Trivikrama. Jambavan circumambulated that entire form which covered the universe on his own strength for 21 times. That's the strength of Jambavan. And then he says, look at all those people that we have here. When we are so strong, so accomplished, so skilled, why speak about all this? Why not get into action? Huh? I can kill Ravana. I can kill his followers, his sons, and all his brother, everyone. I can just finish off. In fact, even if Ravana or Ravana's army release, or especially Indrajit, who has got the title of defeating Indra, if he releases Brahmastra, Indrastra, or it's called Aindrastra, Rudrastra, Vayuastra, Varunastra, none of it will affect me. In fact, I will kill all of Ravana's armies. Finished. So, all of you, if you say yes right now, it is enough for that I can pick rocks, boulders, mountain tops, and shower on the army with such speed and force and such quantity that they will all just get crushed and become chutney. Um, and it's not just me. Look at everyone here. Now he glorifies each one of them. Neela or Panasa, who's with us. They are so strong that when they run or they fly and jump, their thighs have so much power that Mount Mandara can be shattered, can become pulverized. You don't think they can kill all the Rakshasas? Look at these two brothers, Mainda and Dvivida, who in all of the devatas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Nagas, Kinkaras can, not Kinkaras, the Gandharva, Naga, and all those persons, can they fight Mainda and Dvivida? They are born from the Ashwini Kumaras, who have the elixir of eternal youthful and are very, very skillful at fighting. Who can oppose them? In fact, by Lord Brahma's blessings, they have become so powerful. They also one time had fought and received the gift of Amrita, that nectar that was churned from the milk ocean by Lord Brahma's grace. So they have drank it, which means they will not die easily. They are going to live for a very, very, very long time. Remember, Dvivida and Mainda. So when with Lord Brahma's blessings and being the sons of Ashwini Kumaras, these monkeys are so proud of their strength. This pride is not the bad pride, bad sense of pride, the pride that they are so strong that they are not afraid of anything. They can slaughter an entire vast army without thinking much about it. If these two, if we can incite anger in Mainda and Dvivida, they can just finish off Lanka. The chariots, the elephants, the cavalry, the whole Lanka army can be
Who is
finished.
Mayana and Jupiter?
I have myself burnt Lanka.
The
And by my heroic activities, there are massive posters and cutouts on the highways of Lanka that, oh, this is Hanuman. He came and destroyed our. He says, I'm very famous along the highways. I'm adding the cutouts, and especially in India during election time, they have massive what they call cutouts, these banners and posters, what they call larger than life, massive pictures of their leaders for whom they are seeking their votes. Uh, like this, Hanuman's photo has been posted along the highways of Lanka. He has become very famous that he is the one who came and destroyed that entire land. Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Sugriva, they are very famous for their strength. And I am Hanuman, the son of Vayudeva. And when I was in Lanka, very strongly, I told them who I was. What was the verse he said? Jayati Yatibalo Ramo, Lakshmanasya Mahabalah, Raja Jayati Sugrivo, Raghavena Vipalataha, Aham Kosala Rajasya Dasaha, Pavanasambhavaha, Hanuman iti sarvatra nama Vishravitam Maya. My name is famous throughout Lanka. Everybody is scared of my name. That wicked Ravana, how dare he keep Sita under a Simshupa tree, surrounded with Rakshasas or Rakshasis, who are constantly tormenting her. She has been crying and crying for 10 months, not eating, not sleeping. She is like the emaciated moon. The moon that has been veiled by clouds. She does not care for Ravana. She's only crying for Ramachandra. Rama, 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 Rama. That's all she does. Such a chaste lady, auspicious personality who is completely bound by her love for Ramachandra, just the way Shachi Devi is chaste to Lord Indra, wearing one single piece of cloth, rolling in dust. She's not eaten. She's sorrowful, pitiful, and constantly pining for her husband. This rascal Ravana, what has he done? I saw, I saw how she was tormented and constantly provoked by the Rakshasis. She's lying on the bare ground. She is like a lotus that has lost all its luster. She's a withered lotus. Lotus. So somehow I was able to put some confidence in her heart, some assurance that soon Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Sugriva, and all of the army will come for her. One good thing about Ravana so far, he has not caused any harm to her. He has tormented her. Just because he has not done anything harmful to her beyond a point, he's still alive. And because Sita Devi is very chaste to Ramachandra, and she told me that, or I even heard she telling Ravana, I can burn you in 1 second like this, but I don't have the permission of Sri Ramachandra. That is her chastity. So, killing Ravana is not the difficult part. So, Sita Devi is in severe sorrow. We should do something. So, I'm proposing, let's go right now. All of us, we know where she is. We're all very, very strong. Why wait for all of going back, giving a message? Then we have to figure out how to get all the monkeys to Lanka. Not necessary. Let's just go now, finish it all off. It's not proper that we keep Sita waiting like this. It's not proper at all. My heart, he hasn't said it, but that's the dhvani, that my heart is broken. It is in severe distress. We need to bring Sita Devi back to Sri Ramachandra. Let's do it right now. And, you know, Angada, young prince, full of vigor, we call it young blood. He's so inspired. So Angada says, okay, Vanaras, now that we have heard what Sita Devi is going through, we are hearing what Hanuman is saying. It is not proper that we should sit here and do nothing about it. Each of you is very famous for your strength, for all of the abilities do we have. I think it is not proper that we go all the way back to Mount Prasavana where Ramachandra is waiting and just tell him, we have seen Sita, but we have not brought her to you. Come on, we should be able to. Drashta Devi cha chanagi chanita na chanita. So we've seen her, but you have not brought her. Iti tatra nivedatam ayuktam iti pashyami bhavat khyatyam vikrame. Ayuktam iti. I think it is not proper that we tell Ramchandra, oh, by the way, we saw her, but we didn't bring her here. So we are all very powerful. We have more strength than all the demigods, Rakshasas, anyone in the universe. So let's do this. Let's all go right now to Lanka. Let's all jump from here and let us get Sita back. So when all this excitement was happening, Jambavan, who's the wisest, the oldest, the most experienced person, तमेव कृतसंकल्प जाम्बवान् हरिसत्तमः उवाच परमप्रीतो वाक्यम् अर्थम वाक्यम् अर्थवद अर्थवद अर्थिवत. Oh, अर्थवद अर्थिवत. Oh, lovely expression. As Jambavan is hearing all of this, Harisattama, meaning Harisattama, he's the best among the Vanaras. So the bears and Vanaras live together. And so in this group, he's called Harisattama. If you want to break the words differently, Harisattama can also mean the best of the devotees. Hari Sat Tama, the best among the Sat of the Haris, the Hari devotees. And so because he's the best among them, he's the wisest. That's why he's the best. Uvacha Paramaprito. So he didn't get angry. He didn't get irritated or upset. Just lovingly. Vakyam Arthavat. So words with a lot of meaning and realization. He spoke. And Arthavit means he knows how to get things done. And so to accomplish an activity, one just doesn't need brute strength. One needs wisdom that goes along with that strength. And wisdom comes from experience. It comes from hearing. So most of the times we think wisdom comes only from experience, and experience comes with time. So all old people only are wise. That's not necessarily true. When the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken, Shukadeva Goswami was only 16 years old. He was considered the wisest in that assembly. So wisdom is an important point. Wisdom, yes, comes from age and experience. True. Wisdom also comes from hearing. So those who hear carefully, hear with the heart, become wise because someone else's wisdom is being implanted in our heart, in our conception. How many years does it take for a yogi to sit in deep meditation and come to the realization, I am not this body? Yet, when the guru speaks to the disciple and the disciple is fully receptive, that realization can come quickly. So, wisdom comes from disciplic succession, or particularly from hearing, from shravanam and mananam, by contemplating on those messages. So, Jambavan says, Angada, what you are saying is acceptable to all of us, that each one of us is fully capable of achieving everything that needs to be done. We also know what is in Ramachandra's mind. He wants to be united with Sita Devi. Yet, we should only act according to his command. What was his order? He never said to Sugriva or to any one of us, he never said, go bring Sita back, search for Sita and bring her back. He never said that. He said, go search for Sita and bring me the message back as to where she is. That was the task that was given. So now what we are going to do is something far beyond that, which may not be the right thing. It's important because as a disciple, one must understand not only the instruction particularly, but the heart of the Guru, Sri Chaitanya Mana Abhishtam, heart of the Guru, to execute that instruction. So one may say, yeah, Ramachandra's heart is that Sita Devi should be with him. I've understood that heart. Jambavan is saying that was not what was the heart. It is Ramachandra's glory that he will go and bring his wife back, so that forever in history, Sita and Rama are spoken very gloriously. We cannot overshadow that. We cannot take away what is his need to do something for his wife. That way, Hanuman is reminded that Sita Devi also said no to him. First of all, no one can take Sita Devi away from Ramachandra. This is all so the wisdom is to understand the big grand picture. My spiritual master calls it the Krishna factor, which is hard to understand, obviously, but it's called the Krishna factor. To get a sense of what is it that I must do that will only increase the glory of the Lord, will only increase the glory of the devotees and not shadow things or shadow their glory. So that's real wisdom that Jambavan spoke. As soon as he said that one sentence, Valmiki says, all the Vanaras agreed, including Hanuman. They agreed to Jambavan's advice. Tato Jambavanto Vakyam Grihvanta Vanaukachaha Angada Pramukha Viraha Hanumanscha Mahakapihi. A great Hanuman and Angada completely accepted Jambavan's wisdom. This is why it's important that in one's life, one always have some wise people that can give direction, guidance. Although it's not that Hanuman doesn't know, not that Angada does not know. And Hanuman's also speaking out of love for Sita Devi. He's become such an ardent devotee. Yet that an objective voice must always be there in one's life. There's an objective voice that says this versus that, or consider this, not that. So then all the Vanaras happily turned from Mount Mahendra, where they had all met, and resembling mighty, mighty elephants, strong, and each of their bodies are so strong that they looked like Mount Meru. Many Mount Merus were walking. And they were not just walking, some were leaping, some were hopping, some seemed to jump so high up in the air as if they're touching the sky. They call it the skyscraper. They're scraping the sky. And while they are going, they're all praising Hanuman for his strength, his speediness, his courage, his ability to act quickly and deftly in trying circumstances. And they're all looking at Hanuman without blinking their eyes. They're just taking in the form of Hanuman, the hero who has accomplished such a fantastic task. It was almost, Valmiki says, like they are carrying him in their eyes. They were determined in their mind to please Ramachandra. Some of them are ready for the war. Some of them are talking with each other pleasingly, discussing Ram Katha, they're discussing how to assist Sri Ramachandra. The whole group, instead of thinking of fighting, is now happily engrossed in wanting to make sure that Ramachandra is pleased. So accomplishing a task is important, is necessary. But pleasing the Supreme Lord by that accomplishing of the task is even more important. And Jambavan, how many sentences did he speak? One sentence. And that, let's do something that is pleasing to Ramachandra. What would please Sri Rama? And everyone agreed, yes. Yes, the order was bring word about Sita. There was never the order of bring Sita. Yes, our heart wants to do that. But what is most pleasing for him is to bring this message to him. So they all become very, very determined to please Sri Ramachandra. Sarve Rama Pratikare Nishchitartham Manasvinaha. Rama Pritikare. That they all want to make Ramachandra happy and pleased. Nishchitartha. That's the determination in their minds. And now, as they're going to go, they will reach a certain place called Madhuvan, which we will talk about next time. For now, let's see if there are any comments or questions or thoughts.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, keep going. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you did mention that sticking to the instruction and not doing beyond what is required. You said the principle is to know the heart of the instruction person who is giving the instruction. In the light of that, could you speak about Hanuman was sent on a reconnaissance mission, but he engaged with the Rakshasas and he wreaked a havoc. How do we see that in the light of this discussion?
Yeah, it's exactly on task. On task is he is a minister of Sugriva. His idea is to go there and put fear in Ravana's heart, which the fear of Ramachandra. That Ravana, because of that fear, will let Sita Devi go. So he has done his part, but that is exactly the wisdom that in instruction, we've heard so many examples. I want some water, the Guru says. The disciple goes and brings milk. That's not the need at that point. Yet accomplishing the task within the boundary of that instruction, which is not just the act itself, but what is in the heart of the Lord. What's in the heart of Ramachandra is not that Sita Devi should come to him. He should bring her back. So Hanuman did exactly that. In fact, he even offered to Sita Devi, right? Let me take you back with me. She said no. What was her reason? It's not in Ramachandra's glory. So this is not a very straightforward. It requires a deep attachment. That's how we started today's discussion. It requires an attachment to sadhus. It requires the attachment such that one can understand the heart of the person being served, the heart of the guru, and what is pleasing to them and what is not pleasing to them. So in this case, what he did in Lanka is very pleasing. He accomplished what Sugriva needs. He accomplished what he needs to do as a messenger. He had got to talk to Sita Devi and is returning with the message. But the youthful exuberance of let's go fight that demon and finish off this, then the Ramayana is finished. There's nothing else. Ramachandra will go back to Ayodhya and become the prince. And we will never discuss Ramayana because the whole idea Ravana has to be killed. It's a promise given to the demigods. So there's so much behind that one may not know. So Jambavan said, no, let's just do what is pleasing to Sri Ramachandra. So to know the larger picture is not easy, but it's some semblance of getting to think bigger than just the immediate circumstance.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Mhm. Anything else? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, yes. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, today we heard that Vanaras say we all can jump and do the war. But before that,
I was waiting.
when they were discussing who can jump and do, everyone said, okay, I can jump only this much. But no one said,
Mhm.
I can won't come back. What is the difference between then and now? That today they say we can all jump and go and come back. What is the difference?
Enthusiasm. When Hanuman's enthusiasm is such, they're all agreeing, yeah, let's go do it. Let's go do it. They're not thinking what will be the challenges, what we have to. But when in the beginning they had to jump, they all it's individually. They're thinking, what can I accomplish? Oof, my strength is limited. Here now they're talking collective. Collectively, you can accomplish, or not you, collectively, one can accomplish a lot more than what individually someone can accomplish. If Hanuman can jump and Angada can jump and others can jump 80, 90, 100, 90 yojanas, can they all not hold each other and get there? Can Hanuman not drag all of them? Cannot Jambavan pick all of them and go? But the question is, they didn't think about that in the beginning. But the point was, who will get there? Now, when they're thinking collectively, plus it's that exuberance that doesn't consider the the ground reality in one sense. Can we really do it or not? But it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, like 10 friends will get together and say, yeah, let's all start a business. Yeah, I think that business idea is great. Yeah, yeah, this can. In that, nobody has the ground reality necessarily of what it takes to actually get it started, what it takes to actually move it forward. It's that and that excitement. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur calls it Utsahamai, the burst of enthusiasm that's not that's not based on practicability. So think of it as utsahamai.
So the follow-up question, so in our day-to-day life, uh, is there any like a balance between enthusiasm versus the ground reality?
Yeah, yeah. Enthusiasm. What is Prabhupada's definition of enthusiasm in Nectar of Instruction? Endeavor combined with intelligence is enthusiasm. Endeavor combined with intelligence. I'll give you an example. Way back when, uh, Sandhya Mataji is here. It was her daughter's Arangetram in Naperville. And out of her and her husband's kindness, they wanted us in Naperville, at the Naperville Center, to cater for that program. Okay. They wanted 350 boxes of lunch. Yours truly, in that exuberance, said, yeah, we'll cook up. No problem. We'll cook. And we had a whole feast menu planned. Tamarind rice, some yogurt rice, some sweet, and were to deliver it. So Sri Vallabha Prabhu can give you the backstory of how it was a disaster. Somehow they're very kind, Sandhya Mataji and her family, that they tolerated it. But we're like, oh, how much does it take to make yogurt rice? How much does it take to make tamarind rice for 350 people? We had no idea. So we went and soaked so much tamarind, because this is the ground reality is we never knew. So we soaked so much tamarind. Then the next morning, the challenge was, how do you squeeze out the pulp from the fiber? So we had 4 people to just squeeze that tamarind. And then we had to put all the spicing in it, and it became so much. Then the challenge was, how will we mix this into the rice? We didn't have those pots. We didn't have the capacity for it. We didn't have anything. And in so much rice, how much water to put, it became a mush. And we couldn't mix it. Then the big challenge was, how do you make yogurt for such big? We didn't have anything there. So all the different ideas. Then the wisdom, my mother-in-law's wisdom, she told me to put milk in that big plastic containers. And when the milk is warm, put a little yogurt culture and the rice in it, and the heat of it itself will bake it into yogurt. And that's how it worked out. But what it took from each one of us, that we promised never again will we ever take on such a task. That's the enthusiasm that didn't have any intelligence or ground reality associated with it. They didn't have it. That's one example I can give you. But we're all excited. Oh, cooking, great. Some funds for the temple. Yeah, no problem. We'll do it. And then there's so much story of Sri Vallabha getting the truck and getting there for the program. There was a disaster after disaster. Does that help, Narahari?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay, if nothing else, thank you. We offer our gratitude to the wonderful, wise people in our lives who care and love for us, but are also enoughly or enough objective to tell us that's a wrong turn, this is a right turn, this will help you, this will hurt you, without worrying about whether the truth is pleasing or not. And in that sense, they all play the role of this wonderful sadhu Jambavan. He's called Jambavan because he's made like gold. He's from Jambu, Jambavan. His heart is like gold. He's himself golden in the sense that he has so much to give. And although he's so powerful, he plays such a quiet role. And when required, he's the one who gives the wisest of advice. He's the one who went to Hanuman. He's the one who's now calming them down. And later in the war, he is the one who's going to tell us how to revive Lakshmana, Lakshmana and all the Vanaras on the battlefield. So, for such wise people in our lives and the wise people walking around and helping, we offer our gratitude. We offer our gratitude to Sri Hanumanji, whose love for Sita Devi and Sri Ramachandra is so intense that hopefully a tiny spark will touch us and our own hearts will be filled with such affection and love. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Sita Rama Lakshman.